Hi, I'm Brian Icenhower, and I'm here with Shelly Cohensfield. And Shelly is quite a privilege to have Shelly on today. I've had the privilege of working with her for over 3 years now. So welcome, Shelly. Thank you for being on here with me.
Hi there, thank you.
Shelly has done something that so many real estate agents and teams have wanted to do or tried to model after, and I had the privilege of being able to coach her throughout the entire process. Shelly is now the lead buyers specialist on a high-performing real estate team. Different than your normal buyer's agent on a real estate team, although she's been that too. But she has graduated this new position because of her amazing accomplishments, not just with selling real estate, lead generating for new business, but now also her ability to recruit, hire, train, and lead other sales agents on the buyer side of that real estate team. So congratulations, Shelly.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, let's go back really quickly to give everybody some backup. Let's talk about your production. Let's go back a few years to your first full year as a buyer's agent. How did you do that first full year? How many units did you close in the buyer's agent's role?
I was licensed July 2013, and from there to the end of the year, I did three whole buyers.
Gotcha. Questioning whether you should even be in real estate at all.
Yeah, I actually got to the point where I picked up the phone, I called you and just said, what do I need to do? I was thinking what a mistake I made. I wasn't sure what to do, and our meeting is where led me to where I'm at now.
Then your first full year after that in the buyer's agent role, what did that look like for you?
2014, I closed 35 units.
You closed all by yourself, right?
Right. All by myself. Yeah, I actually had, we did have one other buyer's agent on the team at that time.
Oh, gotcha. But she didn't count for those 35. Then the next year, how many units did you close?
52, and that was by myself. I was the only buyer's agent on that team.
Which was phenomenal, because I remember the goal being 50, which I thought was possibly too aggressive, and you did it anyway. Quite possibly to spite me. And then and I think that situation happened again this year. This last year, how many units? I think we're just wrapping up the year, but how many transactions are we going to close?
I should close 75.
75 transactions, and I believe that I owe you a party when you hit this goal.
That's correct. Yep, you promised me a party, and I'm going to remember that.
Right. No, you have definitely been reminding me of it. So that's why I'm contemplating right now how to find a way to slash your tires so that you slow down and don't get these last few units closed. And this was the first year you didn't do it by yourself, though. You didn't close 75 by yourself. That's just not healthy for your entire family life, because you do have an amazing family life too. We want to keep you balanced. You actually brought on some help this year, didn't you?
Yeah, in 2015, although 52 sounds amazing, I was totally stressed out trying to meet that number. And again, I had to pick up the phone and call you and ask you, okay, now what? I'm totally stressed out. I need to meet these goals. What should I do? Your suggestion was to get a showing assistant, which sounded really scary, right? So number one, you're asking me to pay someone. And then number two, you're asking me to take and lose control over showings. That was very, very terrifying. In fact, I told you absolutely that's not going to happen. And then a few months later, I hired someone, and this year has been amazing.
I think there was more fighting going on. I think there was anger and tears. You are a redhead.
A lot of crying, and I ended up in Mexico on a vacation.
No, and it really is amazing to watch. Yeah, because that's hard for anybody. That's not specific to you. I mean, as any buyer's agent, they have a certain amount of transactions, and you do generate a lot of business yourself. But then a lot of the business comes from the team, and the idea of giving those leads and that business and those commissions away to another person is daunting for anyone. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah. I thought you were asking me to get rid of money, throw it out the door.
Right, yeah, right. And but then you realize, wait a minute, this could be a source of an additional income for you if done correctly, and it's proving as though it is now. And then next year, okay, so let's talk about what we've talked about for your goals for next year. What's the plan for next year?
So what I'm going to do is I have taken over the role of taking care of all the buy side. So our lead agent is not in charge of hiring that side or training that side. She steps away and she just takes care of our listings. So I've created manuals, contracts. I out there prospecting for new people on our team. I take care of the hiring process. I've now hired another buyer's agent to be on our team, just passed her license, so that is on its way. So now we're going to have 3 agents on our team. The idea is that because I am taking care of all of that, the buyer's agent joining our team will also be compensating me through her commissions.
Correct. So basically what ends up happening is you get paid a percentage of all the business done by all the agents on the buyer side of the team.
Exactly. So now I'm making more passive money and growing the team and allowing our listing agent to continue to build the listing side.
And what is your production goal? You wrapped up this year at 75. How many units is the buyer side of the team going to close next year?
95.
So now there's going to be 95 transactions closed on just the buyer side of the team. And you personally are getting a step back on your production, aren't you?
Yes, I'm going to do 60 because the idea is that I am allowing the other agent to take care of the other work, and then I will just make money off of that, and in return, I will coach her.
Correct. Well, and you don't just coach her. You recruited her. You stayed in relationship. Tell us about all that.
Yeah, so it was actually a previous client, and she had told that she always wanted to get into real estate, so I just simply asked her, have you thought about it? I interviewed her multiple times. I told her how to get her license. I got it all done. I hired her. She has her license. We're now putting that together. From that step, I am going to completely coach her. I've created manuals on how to do her position, and I will be completely taking care of that.
Right. So you're actually almost running your own little team inside the team for the buyer side of the business, aren't you?
Yes, without the commitment of having to take care of the admin side, the marketing side, or any of that, which is what I don't want to do.
Correct. Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. Okay, and so so you actually, and you're constantly meeting with potential candidates for the team, aren't you, on an ongoing basis?
Yes, obviously there's certain times when I run across true talent. They're maybe not ready to join our team, but I'm staying in contact with them so that when they're all ready, that I'm the one that they're thinking about.
Right. Yeah, so you're staying in business because it really what you've set yourself up with, which a very, the lead agent of your team who I also work with, she's more than happy to just let you grow that side of the business because she too gains a percentage out of all the sales as well too. So her statement is basically Shelly just runs with it. She grows it. And now
absolutely. Yeah, she hasn't even spoken to our new agent yet about this position.
Right. It's all you. And so it kind of creates like a lot of buyers agents feel that they get stuck on at a certain level of production. I can only work so much and close so many transactions. Whereas so therefore I can only make a certain amount of money. Whereas you can endlessly grow your commission and your income onward and onward just by becoming more and more of a leader and recruiting, hiring, training, and leading more and more agents on that buyer side of the team.
Exactly. I think what happens to buyer's agents is that we don't understand, we're in fear that we're not going to make enough money and that's not going to meet our needs. Or we lose a sense of control or whatever it is in your particular situation. I just urge buyers agents that feel like that to reach out to you, find a great coach, and just make sure that you understand that you do have options.
Yeah, there's like a little thing that you go from scarcity to abundance. You know what I mean? Yeah. And once that mindset shifts, it's like, wait a minute, I got this. And I wasn't present when it shifted with you, but I just couldn't believe when you started talking this way. It was just amazing, and I want to keep it going. So now I'm pushing you that way uncomfortably. But the so now it's how fast you grow that side of the team we're fighting over.
Yes.
But as you move forward, it's also enabled you not just to cut back on the number of transactions. Now you get to really tailor the type of business that you represent when you represent them yourself too, don't you?
Absolutely. Turning a web lead would be someone that I would pass off to the buyer's agent. My job is going to be to take control of all of our high-end clients, our return clients and the referrals from our clients and catering to that side of it.
Right. And that, so you're, and because COI past clients, that is usually a higher price point for most people than online leads.
Higher price point, and we are a big referral based company, so I definitely want to make sure that we cater to that side and take care of it.
Absolutely. And then the online leads from different online lead sources and your listings, sign calls, those are typically people that you don't know at a lower price point. And that's a great training and proving ground for all the new agents that you've brought on.
Yeah, business to add new branches to our company.
Right, absolutely. And then, you've got a setup here where you're looking at having both showing assistants and buyer's agents on that side of the business. And the showing assistant, that role is more, well, why don't you explain the difference between the showing assistant and the buyer's agent? How about we do that?
Absolutely. So my showing assistant's only job is to show homes, nothing else. There's no communication coming through them. My clients only call me, only email me. In fact, they don't even know how to get a hold of my showing assistant. I take care of all the communication, all the contracts, everything else. The only thing that's different is that when they go to see the home, it's a different face that they see. And that person's job is to know the market, understand the market, and show them the home and find them the home. And then when they find the home, it comes right back to me to do the contract. What this does for me, first of all, is lifestyle. I do have 2 children and I want to be home for them. I do have a husband, so that way I can be home more evenings and weekends. And then it also allows me, I cannot believe this, it allows me to make more money because I can really generate for more business and I can actually be more choosy about the business that I take now. Whereas before I had to take whatever came to me, now I'm picking and choosing.
Who are you? Who are you? Okay, so then and I agree 100%. Clearly, that showing assistant gets paid a much smaller commission split, but they are learning and they're getting, from you massively. And then what does it take for them to graduate into that buyer's agent role? What do they need to be doing differently?
Yeah, so the first thing I do is I tell them they have to build their own buyer's console. They can use mine as certainly a starting point, but it needs to be theirs. It needs to feel good to them. So I teach them how to build their own. And then they have to understand all the contracts, so they repeat back to me exactly what they mean. And then they're going to have to learn how to lead generate and how to turn the business. And I need to make sure that they understand how to script those buyers into coming in for buyer's consultations. And at that point, they are ready to become a buyer's agent.
So once they get the conversion down, once they're able to actually convert them into appointments, convert them into exclusive buyer agency agreements, convert them into writing offers, once they're and then of course lead generate. And let me get on that lead generation as well too. All of the buyer's side of the business, all of the agents, yourself included, are required to try to lead generate for new business for the team. You guys don't just become dependent on the team to produce your leads. Isn't that correct?
Absolutely. Yeah. We do 50 contacts a week, and that is turned in every single Monday morning to our team manager, and we're held accountable for that.
Correct. Okay. And 50 contacts per week. Who are you contacting?
It can be at open houses. It can be calling past clients and asking for business. It can be sign calls, web lead follow-ups, as long as it's asking for new business and you have a true real estate conversation.
And even the showing assistants have requirements too, correct?
Absolutely. Their job is to know what's out there. So they do 10 previews a week, just walking through properties and understanding them. What I want them to do is when they take the client out, they can say, I have absolutely been inside that house and this is why you don't want to buy it. Making sure that we're eliminating homes that do not make sense. We need to turn business.
So now you are actually saving more time and getting more lifestyle, or all the buyer's agents are, because you're not showing houses you shouldn't be showing. You look better to your clients because you're not wasting their time and they're having a more focused look too. And your showing assistant is now getting to know the market. They're learning more. They're active. They're growing. That's great. It's a wonderful way to actually train people before just kicking them out the door and making them try to sell real estate and fumbling with people's real lives. I love that.
Yeah.
It's a structured real estate training, and that's what you've set up. You're in charge of that for the entire buyer side of the team. Well, I'll tell you, Shelly, I can't wait to work with you in 2017, and it's going to be exciting. And I really appreciate you taking so much time. You're a phenomenal talent. You're one of the best out there, one of the best in the country at what you do, and your numbers support it. So thank you for leading by example.
Yep. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. We'll see what the next breakthrough is.
Sounds good. You bet. Bye, Shelly.
Thanks.